All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so time for laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
And all the support you need all along the way. Call 216-302-1226 to get registered for your COVID-19 vaccine today. That's 216-302-1226. This message is brought to you by Burton Bell Car Development Incorporated and WOBU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Car community radio station. Affinity Missionary Baptist Church, the Greater Cleveland Congregations, and MedWorks is holding a COVID vaccination clinic Wednesday, March 31st from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, April 1st from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at St. James AME Church, 8401 Cedar Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio. You must register in advance to participate in this COVID vaccination clinic. To get registered, visit medworksusa.org/schedule-a-covid-vaccine. That's medworksusa.org/schedule-a-covid.
What's up, Cleveland Kate? How you doing today? Cleveland Kate? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Uh-oh. We got to make sure Cleveland Kate can hear me.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, you can hear me now? Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me. All right. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Everybody's coming in to help me. I appreciate you guys taking care of Lady DJ Chris Styles, Eric Nolan. I appreciate you guys always looking out for me. I felt like a damsel in distress, and here y'all came. Thank you so much.
I thought it was me.
Yeah, no, Cleveland K. How you doing, man?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing today, girl?
Good. It was beautiful outside. It was beautiful outside.
It's a beautiful Monday.
Lot going on, ready to get into it. So we got two guests today. So our first guest is Miss Chardonnay Graham from Touch Cleveland. So I'm super excited to have her on the show today. So we're going to start off with Chardonnay Graham. And then at 6:30 hour, we got Dom Page from the Cleveland Browns coming on, communication coordinator. So we got a lot going on today, two special guests. So Chardonnay, how are you doing today?
I am fabulous. How are you ladies?
I'm doing good. We had a good day yesterday. People don't know, but yesterday we went to the shooting range for I think maybe the first time for me. I don't know about you. Had you been to the range before?
Oh yeah, I've been several times.
Okay. So yeah, don't mess with Chardonnay because she's an excellent shot. Turns out I'm an excellent shot as well. And unfortunately, my shooting sheet got switched with somebody else's. But do not mess with Miss Chardonnay. She's a great shot, but she's an even better business person. So Char, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Oh, okay. Well, so I am Chardonnay Graham. I'm the founder and owner of Touch Cleveland. We are a marketing and public relations firm focused specifically on community and business development. And we're here today representing the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission and upcoming event that we have, NFL Draft Weekend.
Okay. And tell a little bit about your background, though. Where are you from?
Hey, East Cleveland. I am, straight out of East Cleveland, Shaw High Cardinal.
Yeah, now we can't, forget to ever mention that. And then where did you attend college at?
I went right to Notre Dame College right here in South Euclid, Ohio.
Okay. And Dan, tell us a little bit about Touch Cleveland as well before we get into some of the programming aspect of what you're doing with the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission.
Okay, yeah. So we, again, we're a marketing and public relations firm. We're focused specifically on community and business development. So what that means is that we specifically target organizations and entities and individuals that we feel like have impact or influence on communities, neighborhoods, and the cities. We feel like all of that goes hand in hand into the economic and cultural climate of our neighborhoods and cities. And so we like to work with those organizations specifically and kind of bridge the gap between leaders on the ground level with leaders that are more in the corporate level.
And when did you start this?
We started in 2015, so we just celebrated 6 years this year. And I'm saying we now because I finally have a team, but I started the business in 2015.
Okay, and congratulations, That's such a huge accomplishment. Black-owned business, everything that you're doing for the community. So tell us about how this partnership came with Touch Cleveland and the Greater Sports Commission.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to work with Destination Cleveland for about 3 years now. And Destination Cleveland and the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission work hand in hand to bring amazing events to the city and to manage those events and market those events. And so luckily, I kind of, got plugged right in by putting in 3 years of work with Destination Cleveland. But happy to be with the Sports Commission now and working with them specifically to manage the marketing, communications, and public relations for this upcoming event.
And so this is a huge event. I know you've been a part of a lot of events that they have put on, but what makes the draft so special to the city?
Oh, come on. Need I say it? I mean, it's going to have a tremendous economic impact on Cleveland. And the greatest part about it is that we're going to see that impact for years to come. There's going to be people who have never set foot in Cleveland that'll be here for that particular weekend and that will fall in love with our city and now think of it as a place to come and visit. There may be some people who may get here and decide to even put Cleveland on their list of places that they might want to live one day. Not to mention, obviously, all of the money and opportunity that's going to just come from a vending standpoint for the businesses that can take advantage of some of the foot traffic that will be here in Cleveland. So, I mean, it's going to be one big party. I think it's like 2016 championship again. It's like that kind of energy,
Yeah, we kind of had to, but we did. And Cleveland Kate, did you have something for Chardonnay?
Rachel's Rachel. I understand the draft and how important it is and how big it is and what an impact it can have because I'm draft girl when it comes to me and Rachel. But what are some of the challenges that you're facing due to COVID-19? I'm sure there are restrictions in what you're able to do and what the NFL's allowing to, the city of Cleveland to do. What are some of those challenges that you've had to deal with?
Yeah, so that hasn't been specifically in my wheelhouse, but just what I'm aware of course, is that capacity is an issue, and here it is now. We finally have this large opportunities, but I do know that they're thinking about doing kind of like timestamp tickets. Where you can't necessarily stay the entire time. You may have to just, register for only a block of time. And so that's the one thing I do know that has been talked about. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be implemented. But that's being talked about, just to try to give everybody an opportunity to attend, but also not run into those capacity issues. The other thing is, of course, sanitizing stations and still having to make sure all those measures are in place. Still, of course, operating by, I think, only maybe 60% of what the normal capacity is. Thankfully, those things are rapidly changing every single day. So it's like, we're really just hoping that by the end of April, there's even more good news where, we can stretch it a little bit.
Excellent. Well, let me know where I can get I've been vaccinated armband, so that way I don't have to,
you have
to count me in I get my second shot on the 16th of April, right before the draft. So I'll be good to go to head downtown.
Yeah, I do know that there was some conversation surrounding that, on whether or not people would have to show vaccine cards in order to get into the fan experience. I definitely saw that debate online. I have no idea where that's at. I can't speak on that. I really hope that does not happen. I haven't had my first shot yet. I finally got a notice in and I'm eligible, but when I tried to get an appointment, nothing showed up. So
and I've been hearing that from so many people, because the governor he increased it to 50-year-olds, which got me in. And then he went 40, 30, 16 so fast. Yeah. And you have to do one shot and then another one in 3 or 4 weeks, that people have just been having so much trouble getting appointments. But I mean, aside from that, are you guys working on any, offsite things that aren't actually in the draft facilities, but that are going to be in the surrounding areas? Or is there going to be food trucks set up somewhere? Or are there things that fans can do that aren't going to be in the actual draft facilities?
So I don't feel at liberty to really speak on that per se. That's more in the wheelhouse. Yeah, that's more in the wheelhouse for Destination Cleveland. I do know of some things that they're planning there, and I'd definitely be happy to patch you guys if you want somebody from there to come on and speak with you guys about what they have planned. The only thing I do,
I said, we do.
Oh, look, I got you. I know exactly who to patch you through, and I'm gonna make a love note to myself to see if there's somebody available to come on for you guys and tell you what's going on. But yeah, so I do believe that they are the one thing that I'm aware of that I feel like is safe to share is I do know that they're trying to expand, I guess you say, eating areas where the restaurants are, so that everybody doesn't have to be packed inside. And so I at least know that they're thinking about things like that, so that once again, we don't run into these capacity issues and we're still COVID friendly and, give everybody an opportunity to experience those things.
Yeah, that's been a big thing. So I'm on the west side, and that has been something that I've noticed a lot in the last 2-3 weeks, is even the restaurants are out here have given up sections of their parking lot to add patio outdoor seating because the restrictions are very different. And they're getting permits and stuff to do that. So it only makes sense that they might try to do something like that downtown. I can see them getting rid of some of the street parking and putting barricades and stuff out to kind of expand the front of some of the venues. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the things maybe that they can do, and I'm sure they might have tossed around, but maybe a food truck alley. And that's a way to, have people be able to eat outside, because I forgot what, when I used to work downtown, there used to be Walnut Wednesdays where there were a whole bunch of food trucks.
I remember that.
So, so maybe that's something that, maybe East 9th Street, since parking will be limited anyway, traffic in and out, doing something on, East 9th Street leading in, that'll help be able to facilitate.
You can do it down
people.
By the Port Authority too. I mean, there's plenty of places that you're still close enough to walk around the venues and that.
Yeah.
Look at us giving her ideas, telling her what her job is.
Yeah, I'm sitting up here thinking, I mean, that's really actually a great idea, Rachel. And I mean, I would like to think that they've engaged the food trucks, but as far as in that capacity, what you're talking about of really setting something up for them to take advantage of that. I'm not sure if that's been explored, but that is a great idea, especially since so many of them have opportunities that came along with Edgewater Live and Walnut Wednesdays. And, I wonder how the food trucks have been doing.
I don't think that they fared very well because, everything has kind of been shut down. Because one thing about Cleveland, and we got to take a break in a second, is that, we were all about our festivals, and all of our festivals being shut down. That's a lot of income for our food trucks. So everything's just been decimated.
And people working from home. You don't have any people downtown at the offices that are going to just come wander out and hit your food truck because there's nobody in the office.
Yeah.
Now, if they put a food truck on my street, they would be fine.
At your house? You talking about where you live at?
Right in front of my house. I would be out there twice a day. My neighbors would stop by.
All right, we're going to take a really quick break because we're going to talk about some of the programming that Shar is going to be implementing for the draft. So we're going to be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
That's right. I'm cooking dinner while I'm on the radio. I got a multitask for those of you watching us that don't have to hear the commercials. I'm making mashed potatoes.
Your girl Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and you are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU. So remember, you can always listen to us live on WOVU.org. You can always give us a call to 616-271-0959. And also remember to download that WOVU app. Cleveland Kate, what are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Remember, you can download that WOVU app so you can take all of us on the go. And also, we're coming to you via StreamYard as well. So you can watch us live on Facebook. So, you see us in the studio. And the guest that we have right now is Miss Chardonnay Graham from Touch Cleveland. And Chardonnay is on the line with us talking about some of the events that is going on for the draft. So we are just almost 1 month away. So this is a really exciting time. Now, Char, one of the things I did want to ask you before we got to your programming is it possible, and these were just some rumors, that maybe Cleveland might have their name thrown in the hat again to host a draft maybe relatively soon due to we're hosting it during COVID, so we have limited capacity and all those things that influence that. we can't put, on a show like we normally do when some come into town. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, we put on a show, we show ourselves, but we know that things are going to be different with COVID and we can't do it like we normally do it. Do you think that there might be an opportunity for us to maybe get in there and host another draft again, maybe within the next 5 years or so because of what's going on with this one?
I haven't heard that rumor. But
maybe I might be just starting it though. I might be starting. I don't know.
Maybe so. Maybe you are like planting some seeds out there, and you know what? That's all right with me. I do think that I think that's a great idea. I do think that, of course, it depends on how well we pull it off, even in the odds that are stacked against us now. But I definitely hope that somebody is listening that will also spread that rumor too, or put that seed out there as well. That
put on your love note and take it to them for me.
Yeah, if we can pull off an amazing event with all of the adversity we have against us right now, then we definitely deserve another chance to host it when we can have take things to its fullest potential.
And can you tell our audience about some of the draft programming that you are putting on that you want to make us aware of?
Oh, well, I cannot take responsibility for the draft programming in and of itself. I can't take responsibility for that at all. But what we are putting together is, a major event that is in conjunction with the NFL draft. And that's the
major event.
Yeah, and that's the Cleveland Power of Sports Summit. So of course, as you all know, the NFL has began to start really trying to make some strides and changes as far as their initiatives towards social justice. And, we've seen the end racism at the end of the field. And so one of the things that they've been doing during NFL draft weekends, and I believe they did this the first time in Nashville and maybe one other city, they're having diversity, equity, and inclusion summits to highlight and bring more attention to the power of sport as a catalyst for change. So, we have people like Carlos Jones and Tommy Smith, the athletes that raised up the Black Power fist in the 1968 Olympics. People like that, I won't say have been forgotten, but it is individuals like that have really pushed for equality and justice, even in the sporting world for a long time. And there's plenty more advocates out here. Even Andrew Hawkins had made a statement a couple years back by him wearing, the Tamir Rice shirt. And so these athletes that have kind of taken this leadership role and, really kind of gotten into positions that sometimes I'm sure they weren't sure that they signed up for, but what their voices and speaking up has done for the sporting world and the changes that it has brought along. And so now today, we have the opportunity for trans individuals to participate in sports, for people who have special needs or mental illnesses to participate in sports, any kind of handicaps to participate in sports. And so, this diversity, equity, and inclusion summit is bringing together all leaders in sports from all ages, all walks, professionals, athletes, students, you name it, to talk about what that means and how you can be a champion for change.
Now, for those of people who will not be allowed to be down there, will that program be streaming or anything like that? A way for people to connect who can't be down there because of the restrictions and limited attendance?
Yes. So this is going to be held separately from where the draft is. So the NFL draft experience, the fan experience, will be held down kind of like in the court and around First Energy Stadium. The Power of Sports Summit will be taking place at Progressive Field, and it'll be happening earlier in the daytime. And so if anything, it's a great way to get downtown early and have something to do before the fan experience starts later in the evening. So the Power Sports Summit will be taking place Thursday through Saturday. On those first 2 days, on Thursday and Friday, it'll be open from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. and then 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on that Saturday. And so we'll have 4 different learning lounges that people can attend. There's going to be a workshop and demonstration going on, and several workshops and demonstrations going on throughout the day. So, we have people like PCA that'll be doing some things virtually. And so to answer your question, Rachel, we do have events that are happening on site as well as some that are happening online. So for the ones that don't want to deal with the traffic and the parking situations, or is not, still not comfortable with all the COVID stuff, you can attend or take part in the summit even virtually. And so we have literally just so many organizations and speakers that are involved in this. And so there's going to be workshops and panel discussions going on all day. In pretty much like 45-minute hour time slots. Again, you can attend the workshop and demonstrations. You can also just browse around in the community corner. That's where we'll have organizations that are just sharing who they are and their resources and having exhibits. Then we'll have the Equality Lounge, which is being produced by the Female Quotient and Cleveland Browns. And that's going to be like the speaker series where, all of our keynote speakers will be on various panel discussions, surrounding topics. So one in particular that's befitting to you all, and that our Delvis Valentine from the Journalists Organization will be a part of, is leveraging the virtual playing field. And it's going to be talking about, the equality in sports coverage. So thankfully, we have one of our Black journalists, on that panel. And we're just continuing to fill in speakers, to talk Jags.
Well, I think that Shar might be
and last but not least, which one did I not?
Okay.
Am I back?
You froze up on us a little bit. Yeah, you're back. You just froze up a little bit, but you were just saying that you were trying to figure out what programming you were going to have Cleveland Kate and Rachel Hill be part of.
For that. Know. We're available.
Okay, okay.
No, you were just talking about
as I've already told you, I would absolutely love for you guys to be present as media. And if you're interested in the community corner, I can also try to patch that together too, because it'd be really cool if not only, you guys could be talking about something like that, but broadcasting from where you are. I don't know what you can do, but more than happy to figure that out and at least, tell someone that you're interested in doing that. We need all the support we can. So
but when you froze up, you were just talking about what Delvis that he was going to be helping on that panel for you. So that's where you were at.
Yes.
When you froze up
So one of the speaker series is the topic is going to be like leveraging the virtual playing field, and it's talking about the equity in sports coverage. And so Delvis Valentine will be one of the speakers on that panel.
That's awesome.
And so then last but not least, the other thing that'll be going on, and this will just be going on throughout the summit, is there'll be like demonstrations happening. So we have Dancing Wheels, which if I'm not mistaken, they are the group that they're in wheelchairs and play basketball. And so they'll be doing those demonstrations. And we have a couple other organizations like that that'll be demonstrating like what they do. And that'll be going on just in various places throughout the summit.
Okay, perfect. Now, Shar, can you tell?
It is free, by the way.
Oh, yeah, awesome. And can you tell people like how they can get in touch with you, or give people some resources?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to know about all things NFL draft, I would suggest going to thisiscle.com. That's Destination Cleveland's website. If you would like to know about the Power of Sports Summit and, learning how you can attend that virtually or online, that website is clesportsummit.org. I would also encourage you to follow us on social as we're gearing up and getting speakers. We're releasing people every day. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Cle Sports Summit. And then if you're looking for me, you can find me at Touch Cleveland. Our website is touchcle.com. And again, we provide marketing and public relations.
Yeah, Shar, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. We know that how important this was to be able to talk about some of the programming and also get people to be engaged in what's going on. Considering people would say that we are the holy grail of football, and football was born here. And, we also have the Hall of Fame here. We know that, this important to have this event here, and just, Cleveland is going to put on a show, even though there are a lot of limitations due to this pandemic. We going to do what we do. And that's just how we roll. So, just want to thank you so much for having you on. Kate, anything you got for Shar before we let her go and head to break?
No, I was just trying to find out our Twitter handles. I'm trying to follow talking at the same time.
Yeah, you can find the summit at Cle Sport Summit. And no S on the sport, just Cle Sport Summit. And you can find my organization at Touch Cleveland. And again, thank you, Rachel, as well for having me. I will be sure to put in a word that you guys are interested.
Anytime, appreciate it, and thank you. You know, we was gonna be like, how could we be involved? You know, we was gonna do that, but just thank you so much because you always looking out for us. So thank you so much, and we are looking forward to seeing you because Cleveland is gonna be house. So we're gonna make sure and going to that panel because I would love to meet Carlos and Tommy. Like that's just so amazing. So their contribution. So we're gonna go ahead and take another break. Thank you so much to Shar. She has to leave us, but when we come back, we are going to come back with Dom Page of the Cleveland Browns. You are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Hey, bye, Rachel.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hi. How are you?
How y'all doing? I'm good. My bad. I had to take something back to Macy's really quick.
Rachel, don't shush me, Rachel.
This is your girl, Rachel, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with my girl, Cleveland Kate. You know it is Monday. You know what we do, but we got a special guest that dropped in, with us. A really busy person right now, a lot going on with the Cleveland Browns. We have Dom Page, communication coordinator from the Cleveland Browns in the house with us. What's up, Dom? How you doing, man?
What's up? How y'all doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for being here. We know you're busy. Free agency is going on. There's a lot going on. But one of the things, we're a sports show, so we want to talk about people as well. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show is, what you do is important. Who you are is important. And, when we're in these spaces, there's kind of not a lot of us. And, Cleveland Kate is down with the struggle. She know what I'm talking about. We don't have a ton of young Black people in these professional sports spaces working for the teams as well as in the journalism outlets as well. So I'm one of those people. You are one of those people. So it was a great opportunity to meet you in 2019 going into that. Was it 2019, 2020?
Yeah, I can't even. It was a 2019 season.
We
Yeah,
didn't,
20.
we didn't do
Okay.
much of anything in 2020 girl.
So wait,
Just
2
rip
years
that calendar
ago.
up, throw it away.
I couldn't even remember.
Yeah.
I
Might have
couldn't
been
even
Speaking of the
remember.
combine,
off season.
the combine was the last real event before COVID hit. I did get that squeezed in, and then there was nothing.
Same for me. It was the last
Yeah.
time I ever went out of town,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, Dom. So can you tell our audience a little bit about you, where you're from, where you grew up, where you're from, how you came to work for the Cleveland Browns, and what is your role with the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and I went to the University of Kentucky. As you can see, I'm repping my hoodie right now.
The Wildcats.
I graduated in 2018. I worked in sports throughout my time at the university, but first I started off at the school newspaper, the Kentucky Colonel, just trying to find my avenue, trying to see, how I can apply sports and writing. I did a couple of internships at some news stations back at home in Louisville, and I figured out that, that wouldn't be the best route for me. But I still wanted to stay involved with sports and, my love for writing, and I had to find the right career. So, it was a lot of ins and outs of just trying to, figure out what you're going to do. That's how you basically spend your college life. That's what internships are for. You do those internships to see if you want to pursue a career in those fields. So with that being said, fast forward to my senior year, I was blessed enough to be able to work for UK Athletics, where I was working in the media relations department for basketball, football, baseball. You name it, you call me, I'm there. So I did that throughout my senior year, worked different internships, jobs throughout college that placed me in that position. And then I was able to work at the New York Jets as an intern for the 2018 season. And that was my first time ever, moving out of state, put it that way. And that was my first time ever in New York, New Jersey area. So, being there was very eye-opening to me. I didn't use my car. So, not using your car was the first time, and it's the first time for everything. So with that being said, being up there, it taught me a lot. It taught me to grind, because you constantly see people walk. The city never sleeps. You could be out 3 a.m. You're going to see a crowd of people somewhere. It doesn't matter what borough you're in, you're going to see people out somewhere. So part of me felt safe that there was people always out. But my family, I don't think they felt that it was safe for me to be out, because of the simple fact that you're in a big city, and we're from per se a small city. People didn't even know what Louisville was. I had to tell people I was from Kentucky, and I'm not used to telling people I'm from Kentucky. But the first thing that pop up in people's mind, and when I tell them I'm from Kentucky, is UK basketball. So I guess that's a plus. So fast forward to the Super Bowl 53. Yeah, the Falcons and not the Falcons, the Patriots and the Rams, Super Bowl 53, if I'm not mistaken, in Atlanta. I ended up, going there, working the Super Bowl, and came across some people at the Browns, and that led me to my next position. I served as an intern for the 2019 season, and then in 2020, I got blessed enough to be able to be hired on full time. So I've been full time for a year now, and I just finished my first full season as a full time employee. So it was a tough year, obviously, with all of the constraints with COVID, but I mean, now we're at the position now where we see things opening back up, and we see a lot of progress. It's been a journey, but we're here now, and that's a little bit about me. I'm just here to make sure that I give my girl Rachel some good pub.
Oh, I see how we're gonna do this. Okay.
But shout
I
out to
love you, Dom.
KT.
Was
I just
Lonzo
met Kate.
Highsmith was he still with the Browns when you started?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Lonzo Highsmith?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
He and Rachel and I go way back.
Oh man, yeah. I got all love. It's all love for Lonzo over here.
Yeah.
We had an opportunity to travel to Pittsburgh for a game, and we got a chance to eat lunch with him, and we had some really interesting conversation with him, and he just gave us some really good life advice that I think we can follow. So we're looking forward to possibly having him call in on the show. So Dom, what is it like to work for the Cleveland Browns organization? It's a dream job for so many people. What has it been like for you to be able to work for this organization? And one of the things is that us who are a little older than you, we depending on when you were born, you saw success in this town, and then since it came back as an organization, it hasn't been the best organization, but we've had this turnaround last season. And unfortunately, it took place during COVID. What is it like to work for this organization right now with so much excitement going on?
It's great. It's great from the top to the bottom. Ever since I got there in April of 2019. So yeah, I'm going on actually 2 years by the way of being there. So yeah, ever since I've been there, from the drive up, from looking at apartments prior to my internship, I've been welcomed with all open arms. So just being in the environment, being able to, see the changes and being able to go from a 6-10 season to 11-5 season, and just the, full environment with everyone in the environment and the organization showing love. It's love. Like, I love it so much. I'm able to do my dream job too, so that always adds a little cherry on top to the ice cream, which makes my job easier. I always wake up every day with a smile on my face just because I'm blessed enough. I'm one of 32. So being one of 32 is always something that, brings joy to me. And being in Cleveland, the environment is crazy. I remember my first game when we were driving to the I was driving to the stadium, and I don't want to say the name of the lot wrong or incorrect, but it's a lot by the stadium.
Oh, the Muni lot.
Tailgate, yeah, the Mooney lot. And it was literally so full. It was like 7 a.m. on the way to the stadium. And I'm like, is this what I'm about to get prepared for? So, that was just a start. And then, you get to the stadium and it's even more crazy. So just being in the whole atmosphere, the game day experience, the day-to-day functions, it's been pretty awesome. And I'm lost for words sometimes when I see how the fans react to just certain things. When you see the players walking around, you might be at the stadium and the fans are just crazy. So just being in that environment the fans is crazy. The fans is crazy.
But Dom, you mentioned the Muni lot at 7:00, but 7:00, you're late. If you're not there at 5 a.m., you are late. Pretty much people use their campers to spend the night out there. And we got in the line maybe at like 5 a.m. and we were late. So that ain't nothing when you got there at 7:00.
Yeah, it's crazy. To be honest, it reminds me of the fan base. I guess I've been around a crazy fan base since college. Since I was at UK, we have this thing called Big Blue Madness, where they have the scrimmage at night, and you have these people literally camped out of Memorial Coliseum at a week before they're even to give you tickets. So just seeing them camped out with their tent, you're walking to class, it's insane, and it's even more insane here. Fan base is important, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that one of the biggest differences between the college environment at UK and then the professional sports environment in Cleveland? Like, I know Rachel and I call it a basketball school, so they don't do a lot of tailgating and parking lot partying there. But like, what other big differences have you seen just between college and pros?
One of the biggest differences that I've seen, I mean, obviously, you got your college sports and then you have professional. So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a little bit more professional, but it's a little bit more meticulous, like with being in a professional sport field. But the college ranks, it's so crazy. Like there's just so many stories that I could tell you. I can go on and on about the game day experience, because even though our football team wasn't really, that great at the point of time, it's still, SEC football. So even the opponent, when they come in, it's going to be a good game, or it's going to be a good school coming in, which is already going to bring excitement from just the team. So I think from an excitement standpoint, it's pretty much the same, but just from a game preparation standpoint, it's totally different. Like preparing for a professional sports game is totally different from preparing from a college, just because like college basketball, you have games every other day, just from my perspective. And then from the professional football ranks, we have one game every week. So you're preparing for that game on just a Sunday, as opposed to being in a college basketball arena, you're preparing for a game every other day. That's my biggest difference.
How does your preparation change? I'm guessing the way you did, your job at UK, you've got the preparation and the homework and the day-to-day stuff that you did is very different than what you're doing now.
Yeah, most definitely. It's totally different. I mean, when I was at UK, I was hands-on, but I wasn't as hands-on just because it was my first, year actually being able to get involved. So it was me just trying to find who I was in media relations. So I was trying to, get my foot into everything. So, anytime somebody needed volunteers, I was always that person. But now it's kind of a little bit more solidified to where, I'm just trying to work on my craft, and I'm trying to figure out like how I can, be well rounded within the organization, like how I can plant my foot and not just PR, but plant my foot inside the corporate space and plant my foot inside the community relations space. Being more
Yeah.
involved in the community, being more involved with organizations that's in the same city as me, as where I'm at. So it's more of being involved outside of the sports space is something that I try to like get involved in, and that's important to me in comparison to being in college.
Do you feel I don't know if responsibility is the right word, but do you feel a responsibility as an African American man working in what I consider to be the front office to be involved in more activities outside the facility, outside the team,
Oh yeah,
to
because
represent?
yeah, most definitely. The number one thing that I live by is presence. Like, and I say that because presence is so much important. Like I said, going back to when I first moved to New Jersey, like that was my first time ever in the Northeast, besides being in Philly a couple months earlier, which was the first time I ever rode on a plane in 10 years since 2004, which was 2018. So it was, an eye-opening experience, and being able to, have somebody that is in that office space that could possibly have you have an opportunity to shadow, or talk to people that they know or connect you, or just being able to have that whole atmosphere, and getting that information passed down is something that I didn't have. So I want to
Right.
be one of those pillars to be able to pass that information down. That's something that's very important to me. And another thing that's very important to me is being able to create a tree. I'm just now starting, so I want to be able to 10 years from now, and I'm seeing people that's 4 or 5 years, maybe six, maybe a year younger than me, being able to continue to ask me for information, and I'm seeing them flourish in their careers as well, not just in PR, outside of PR. So being involved in those organizations and being involved in the community is very important to me, just because I go back to the presence being
All
there.
right, we're gonna take a break really quickly, and
I
Dom,
want
we're
to
gonna
take I
finish up with you.
conversation. Rachel always wants to take a break.
Sorry, the producer's on me, so we gotta take a
I
break right
know, I
quick. We're
know.
gonna finish up with Dom. You listen to her in the huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. OVU at 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports here with Cleveland Kate. And we have Dom Page with us, communications coordinator from the Cleveland Browns. And Dom, you know, this has been a great conversation. We know we can't keep you forever because it's free agency. So you got a lot going on. And, you know, who knows who the Browns might sign next and you get that phone call. But you talked about how young you are and you have people coming to you for advice. What is some of the advice that you can give others besides hustle and grind? Because you're so young. And it's funny, I actually have a master's in sports management and, you know, I'm not in sports and that's okay. But, you know, what advice would you give to the young and old? Because sometimes people do, you know, want to change careers in midlife and things like that. But what would you advise people?
So I got two things. And the number one thing is just be yourself, because I I have learned that the hard way. You know, like I figured out once I started to, you know, actually like tackling and being myself and being comfortable in my skin, and made everything so much easier. Like, and that's not just a professional life skill. That goes to, you know, your daily life. Like just being myself just put me in different positions to advance by having other people, you know, instill their trust inside me. So that's the number one thing that I would say is just, you know, be yourself, and don't never second guess yourself, because when you second guess yourself, you won't be able to elevate. And that also ties into my second one, and it's just being patient. Like a lot of people, they think that just because, like you said, they have those degrees and they have the experience, that they're automatically qualified. But to me, that's not the case. It's more about, you know, being patient and you being in the right position at the right time, because, you know, it's all in the Lord's hands. And I can only, which leads me to another point that I can give some advice to.
Go ahead now. Go ahead, Dom. Throw the word out there. Go ahead.
Basically, you know, controlling what you can control. Like, you know, you can't really, if it's something that is not under your control, then, you know, you can't really stress about that. And that goes back to the second point, which is being patient. So just tying in being yourself and being patient and controlling what you can control, it can take you a long way. Like, and I didn't have those attributes. I did, but I didn't apply those attributes during my early years in college, which, you know, maybe could have set me back. But once I started to really apply those to my daily life skills, I feel better mentally and all of the above once I started to actually apply those, and I'm feeling good about myself now. So if you take those takeaways, it could take you a long way in my understanding.
And can you tell us, right now there's a flurry of free agent signings, and one of the things that people in Cleveland we haven't been used to is free agents wanting to come here, and there's a lot of flurry of excitement, you know, that surrounds that. Can you speak to what it's like to be in the building? No, because one of the things that we know that was common was people came to Cleveland just to get a paycheck. Now they are here to get a paycheck. Let's be honest. But it's a different type of feeling, and they feel like I want to come here, I want to contribute, and this team is going to the next level. How does it feel to be in that building right now with all that going on?
It feels good. Like I said, when it's good from the top to bottom. So, you know, when you have good people in the building, it makes your job way better. It makes you, you know, like I said earlier too, waking up with a smile on your face, doing what you love to do. So that all factors inside of one. So just being inside the building with great people and great energy, because you always want to have great energy. You know, great energy brings great people and great advice and great personality too. So all of those tackle in to one thing, and it makes the whole organization run good with good people.
Yeah, and then I guess my final question would be for you. What can the Cleveland Browns fans look forward to next season? You got your bags packed for the Super Bowl?
That's above my pay grade, but I won't be the one to do predictions. But all I will say is that the fan base here is great, and hopefully we can get some fans inside the building, because I can tell you this: the atmosphere last year, even with 6,000 and 12,000 fans, was incredible. So even if it is that amount, if it's more, if it's less, it doesn't matter. The fans here, they bring the energy, and I will expect a lot more energy, so the fans can expect a lot more energy as well.
Yeah, yeah. Dom, Kate, you got anything for Dom before we let him go?
I was just going to say, welcome to Cleveland. I know you've been here
Yeah.
for 2 years. I hope you decide to make it your home for a while. I hope it's better than New York and New Jersey. And it's probably, depending on what part of town you live in, it's probably a lot like small town life, just depending.
Yeah.
At least I find the people to be a lot nicer and a lot more friendlier, like you'd find in a small town area.
Yeah, I love it here. I love it here.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the weather's starting to pick up. So,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that being said, it's even better.
We're about
Yeah.
to get our 3 weeks of nice weather before construction
and there's some
season and winter
excitement.
hits again.
Yeah, and there's some excitement to look forward to. We have the draft here in a month. So,
Yeah,
Yep.
no. How excited are you for that? Look
hey,
at
like I said,
all these good things happen, Dom. All these
yeah.
good things are happening.
Hey, look, I'm here for it because I was thinking about the other day too. I'm like, we got the NBA All-Star game here next year.
Yeah.
So I'll be here.
Yeah, and we like hearing people who didn't grow up here saying they love it here, and that's such a common theme. And one of the things is like people who grew up here, we kind of don't appreciate it like a lot of outsiders. But Cleveland has changed a lot. We have our old memories of the old, and we also love the new. So just thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. Like we said, the phone blowing up for free agency, so no telling who y'all gonna be signing next. So we are so thankful to you, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you this year, because some of those limitations will be lifted. So thank you so much for giving us that time, Dom, and you take care, and I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, y'all be blessed. Thank you for having
right.
me.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Yep,
You too. Thanks so much. Man, so, we got into some sports talk that was a little different than our norm because, these people are the fabric of the city. So, normally we get into stats and facts, but today was an important show to talk a little bit about, people who keep things going behind the scenes, other than the athletes and stuff like that. So, super excited to have Sean, excited to have Dom on, talk about what it's like to be part of that experience, what Shar does and what she's doing, as far as the draft goes. So Cleveland K, we didn't really get into some of the topics we had that we're going to have to save some for tomorrow. But did you get a chance to watch the fight?
Stipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sad.
I mean, he went down, 52 seconds into the second round? I mean, it was just, I think he underestimated his opponent. I think he was very surprised at what came at him.
Lost too much weight. He was down 30 pounds.
He did, but I think he still should have been okay. I don't know that the guy he was fighting, because I refuse to say his name, I don't think he was that much better. I just think he caught him mentally off guard. UFC fights are one of those things where you got to be 110% laser focused on every single second of that match. And that guy slipped one in on him, and then he was done. And it's just that fast. So, I mean, he'll come back. I think he lost a little when he lost the championship the first time and then got it back. I thought he'd be okay for a little while, but you're right. He's lost some weight, and I think he needs a little bit of that weight back. Maybe not all 30 pounds, but he needs at least 20 of it back. Or at least he needs a little more time adjusting to his new body and his new size and figuring out what his power is now. I think he'll be all right. He still reps Cleveland well. I got no complaints.
Yeah, he cut weight, though, to be more quicker and agile. But when you're going up against somebody who's, got 30 pounds on you, that's extra muscle. And they say that the guy was one of the hardest hitters in UFC, history. So, one of the things that
it takes some time to adjust to your new size as well. And you can pick up some of that speed, but you're still relying on muscle memory, and your body is still going to want to do things the way it did when you were 30 pounds heavier. And so it's going to just take him a little time, if he decides to stay at this weight, to just get used to it, develop new muscle memories, and compensate for him that way.
Girl, he looked massive compared to Steve.
I know.
I was just this ain't going to be good. Even though Daniel Cormier was much bigger than, much bigger than Stipe. I mean, on the outside, though, it's like Stipe is, lengthwise, but, Daniel Cormier was more horizontal. But when I saw them, glove to glove at the very beginning, I'm like, oh, this ain't going to be good for Stipe. And then Stipe wasn't aggressive at all. You can keep doing those leg kicks, but, Nagano was on attack the whole fight, and Stipe was kind of running. So I'm like, this ain't gonna be good.
Yeah.
But hey, he's still a champion. Because I mean, even when we saw him at the Cleveland Sports Awards, remember, we was like, he's a little dude. I could take him.
For a second, I thought I could take him, and then I'm like, no, okay, I can't. Rachel could probably take him. I can't.
I can't take him. But he's a slim dude. So, you wonder if he puts that weight on. But, they were talking about they could fight, but Stipe can't fight for 6 months. So he's at a medical suspension. But they could fight again for a trilogy. And I'm like, I don't think Stipe should fight him.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him with 6 months of practice under his belt at this weight. We'll see.
Gosh, it was just, and nothing really even happened, and the messed up part was I missed the knockout because I got up to use the restroom. So, I came back, I just heard, oh, I was like, this ain't good. Yeah. I was like, but what's his name? The rapper from Cleveland, GK in the house, it was 5 fans in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But
listen, I gotta tell you before we go, because I know you'll worry. I did go shopping for Easter candy yesterday. I will be making Easter baskets for my children who are range in age from 28 to 30, almost 4. There will be nobody calling Children's Protective Services on Sunday. There will be Easter baskets for my children.
Can I tell you,
worry.
That was one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. That was a good one. Yeah, today was a good day. We did something a little different sports-wise, but I still feel like, it was a great conversation and all that other good stuff. So I guess it's, about to be our time to go get out of here.
All right, I love you, girl. I'll talk to you later.
All right, her and the Huddles over you.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.